Hey guys, Abe here with a zombie Guardragon deck profile. Alright, so with this deck profile, I really love zombies because they are kind of broken and they can do some nutty stuff, especially with Unizombie Mizuki. And then I just kind of thought to make it more of a chaos version of it. And I thought to add Guardragons. They're kind of like the new chaosy build, I guess you could say. Well, that's the way I look at it. And yeah, once you get the Guardragons out, you get some pretty nutty stuff. So yeah, let's get started with the deck profile. Alright, so for the main deck, obviously for zombies, you gotta run 3 Unizombies, 3 Mizukis. Yeah, just this alone is already kind of broken. You know, to summon the Mizuki from, or to get the Mizuki in the grave, banish it, summon now either Unizombie or either get a Solitaire or Gozuki out and start doing some other stuff. Pretty broken. But yeah, just these cards you gotta run 3 ups because they're just really important. Good starter cards. Well, you don't want to see Mizuki in your hand, but you definitely want to see at least Unizombie or Shiranui Solitaire in your hand. Or Gozuki, which is the next card. 3 Gozuki and 3 Solitaire. Yeah, Gozuki's a good start card because you can get that Mizuki in the grave, at least start to get in the grave. Shiranui Solitaire you want to see in your hand because that way you can get the Unizombie out and then, you know, send the Mizuki and things like that. So yeah, they're just Shiranui Solitaire and Gozuki. You could at least get to, at least it's a good starter card. Alright, and then for the next stuff, what's zombies without Lightsworns, right? So we're going to run 3 Raiden and 3 Lila, Lightsworn Sorceress. Yeah, the Raidens just to get the Mizuki or any zombies in the grave, especially Mizuki. And then Lila, she's kind of there for more of a either solar recharge target or in case you run out of your Raidens, a Charge the Light Brigade target, just so that way you can resolve it. But even just her second effect to, or her first effect to pop a spell and trap, if there's really nothing else you can do, then you can use that. But just her milling effect's good, and then, like I said, just another name just to resolve those spells. So that's really why she's in the deck. And she's a level 4. And now for the dragon stuff, run 3 of the Wyverbuster and 3 of the Collapse Serpent. These cards, like I said, I used to have it in the Chaos build I used to have way a long time ago. But now they're kind of back, especially now with the new Guardragons, because you just need level 4 or lower to summon it, to summon one of them, or the Pitsy in the LP. So that's why they're kind of back in the deck now, and since everything is either light or dark, you could at least you know, have that in the grave already, and then you can just start banishing each other, and then just their effects to replace themselves, it's like really busted. So it's a good thing you can only summon them once per turn, because if not, I think they would, you know, they're kind of broken. So yeah, you kind of want to use these a little strategically, not too recklessly. But yeah, but there's other cards you could run, and 2 cards I do like running. Something I got from Machuca from YugiBOOM. He told me to run the Draco and the Arborea. Draco more in case you don't have the Collapser from Wyverbuster. You can use this as if you have Start Yuja out, you can get him out, so as a free summon, and then you can start going off from there. And then the Arborea is just kind of there as another tuner. And that way, you know, you can go into your synchro plays or just another link fodder and things like that. So I'm really happy he suggested these cards to me because they have worked really well in the deck. Okay, and now for other cards. So I'll run 1 Honest, 1 Wyvern, 1 Glow Bulb. Honestly, Honest you could probably cut out for something else, probably like another extender or something like that. But it's just there just in case for you have a light monster out and you need to get over something. But like I said, Honest, you could probably cut something else. So it's just a filler card for now. The Wyver I like because you could banish like Red MD or something. And if you can only use Pitsy's effect to bring it back, that's good. Or even just to get it, just to at least get out the deck if you want. And then, you know, you could bring it back if you banish the Wyvern. If you need any hand, that way you can at least have LP to be live. That's good. And then Glow Bulb just because it's like, you know, an extender. And he's a level 1 tuner. And you get to mill something from the top of the deck, so why not? So Glow Bulb is always good in these kind of decks. Now for the bigger monsters, 1 Light Pulsar, 1 Red MD, 1 Dark Arm Dragon, and 1 BLS Soldier. Light Pulsar is just kind of good because you can always recycle back the Red MD, especially if it leaves from the field to the grave. The Dad is something I might take out for maybe the new Chaos Dragon Livinier. So it just depends, because sometimes if you mill the Dad, it's just kind of gone now. If you have it in your hand and you're somehow, I mean, when you have it in your hand and you're able to manipulate the graveyard a lot, you can be pretty good. But other than that, you could always swap him out for the new Chaos Dragon Levineer. He does good. And then BLS, why not run BLS? Everything's light and dark, and you get a big boss monster out there. And you can either use his removal effect and you can link it away if that's all you need to do, or as a 3,000 beater to maybe end the game. You can have him out there. And then Red MD, obviously for Guardragons, is pretty busted. Maybe he might get hit, we don't know. But yeah, he's just really good in the deck. And now onto the spells. Obviously, with this kind of deck, you gotta run 3 charges of Light Brigade. Send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard. Add Lightsworn. You usually want to go for Raiden, because Raiden just starts your plays really well. I'm really happy the card's back at 3. Back when it was at 1, it was really hard, because sometimes you milling, it's just like, oh, the 1 charge of Light Brigade. But now it's at 3, so I mean, if you do mill it, it kind of sucks still, because you always want to have it in your hand. But at least you have multiple copies of it. So in case you mill 1, you still have 2 more in the deck. Or if you already used 1, you have at least another 1 in the deck. And then another card, just 1 solar recharge. Just 1, because since there's not too many Lightsworns in the deck, it's just there just to either extend or, you know, just to get extra cards in your hand, things like that. Because once you kind of use all your resources, it's kind of it. And then for 1-ofs, 1 Warrior from a different dimension, 1 Monster Reborn to extend, 1 Dark Hole, and 1 Foolish. The Dark Hole's just there just in case, like, maybe you have to go second, and they have a big board, you can at least wipe it out. If not, you could always switch that out too for something else. So you can maybe run like Low Legacy Succession or things like something that brings back a monster from the grave, that'd be good. Or even the Guardragon spell, the continuous spell, you could probably run that in here as well. Like, you know, the Honest and this Dark Hole, you can always switch that out for the Guardragon continuous spell. That's, I think, really good. And then Foolish, obviously, because that way you could just send Mizuki or anything else you need in the grave. But yeah, that's it for the spells. Very high monster counts, very monster heavy deck. But you know, when you have the right hand, it's just really busted. All right, and now into the extra deck. So we want 1 Pisty, 1 LP, 1 Agar Pain. You don't really need to run anymore, because once you get 1 off, or once you get their effects off once, you're kind of good. If you're able to go through the whole play, and the fact that you can go into double Saryuja with this deck is pretty nutty. So yeah, just 1 of each is fine. That way you have extra space and extra deck for Saryuja and like other synchros and stuff you can do. Because we want Crystal Wing in the deck, so that way you can use that for Agar Pain to get him out. And then if you link again, you can at least summon something else into it. And then for other links, for the zombie aspect of the deck, we got Vampire Sucker. 1 Underclock Taker, because he's just really good and can end games sometimes. And then 1 Summon Sorceress to, you know, kind of extend plays, get stuff out the deck and go into higher links or anything like that, or synchros and things like that. But yeah, they're pretty good. You know, you can switch them out for other things that you might need for the deck. But I think this works really well, because the Vampire Sucker, you get to draw stuff. Like I said, Underclock Taker, you just get that 1 pointer down maybe later in the game. And you just need that 1 other synchro out. It's pretty good. And then Summon Sword, because she's busted. And then for Link 4s, I just want 1 Borload and 2 Saryujas. Borload's just there for like maybe after you do the Agar Pain, you can go into Borload, have him out, and then you can like maybe if you have Mizuki's in the grave still and you still have Unizombie, you could always like Mizuki and then go into like some kind of synchro play. And I do run Boral or Savage Dragon, so that's a play you could do. But yeah, just to double Saryuja in this deck is pretty nutty. I never thought I could do that, because usually you want to go for the Omega, and that's usually the opening play. But when you start getting the dragon stuff, it's pretty great. So, and I never thought you could make a double Saryuja with this deck, like I said earlier. So that's good. And then the 1 XC we run the deck, 1 Minerva. A lot of level 4s in the deck. You could, rank 4 into her, and then you start milling. Maybe you start getting some cards that you need in the graveyard. That's why I just run 1 of her. So she's good. And then now into Synchros. The 1 level 7 I run is the Cyber's Quantum Dragon. If you can get a link out with this guy out, he's pretty good, because it makes everything your opponent has to do has to target him first. So that's why I like him a lot. And he's a 25 beater, and he has a really good effect to return something back to the hand, and then he can attack again. So that's pretty good, because sometimes level 7s can be lacking a little bit. And then for level 8 Synchros, 1 Omega, obviously. 1 Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend, 1 Crystal Wing, and 1 Borload Savage Dragon. Omega, obviously, if you have the zombie stuff, you want to summon him first, get that out. and things like that. And he's really annoying, and he always somehow comes back right. The preference for Scarlet Red Dragon Arfiend, just in case like maybe they have a kind of big monster on the field, or they have a lot of monsters on the field, your opponent does. You can at least wipe the field, especially if everything special summon. So that's why I like him in the deck. Just something else to go into in case you don't have your negates out. You can at least have something that wipes the board if you don't have like a dark hole and stuff. And like you can summon level 8 synchros pretty easily with this deck with Unizombie and stuff. And then the one Crystal Wing Single Dragon for the target for the Aggrar Pain, that we can summon it for free. And then one Savage Dragon, usually you can go into like a Summon Sorcerers, and you can get like 2 level 4s out. And then you go into level 8 in Savage Dragon, and then you can put the Summon Sorcerers to it, and you have 3 negates. So that's why Savage Dragon's in here. Before I used to have Beals in the deck, but now he's kind of fell out of favor just because of his effect. He's really annoying to get around still. But just to have Savage Dragon, he's really good because he can kind of negate anything. But that is the deck profile, you guys. Let me know what you think. If there's any spicy techs you think I could run in the deck besides what I have. Always down for your suggestions. Like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you check out our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And thank you for watching, and have a good one.